Welcome back to Views with Hughes, agenda-free news. This is Jerome Hughes. Now, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, today we're diving into a fascinating topic and somewhat controversial topic, the role of diversity and representation in the video game industry, specifically through the lens of Star Wars Outlaws and its voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws. Now, there's a lot to unpack here, so I'm going to break it down step by step and explore the broader implications of these developments, okay? But this shouldn't be anything surprising to us at all. You see, the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws, Humbly Gonzalez, I'm not sure if I said her name correctly, recently made headlines with her comments on the video game industry's approach to gender representation. Now, the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws highlighted the industry's pervasive misogyny while also lauding Ubisoft and the massive entertainment for their decision to feature a female protagonist as the sole character in the game. Now, this decision, according to the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws, represents a significant shift towards inclusivity and broader perspective. However, we must ask whether this focus on a single female with strong masculine jawlines lead character is enough to address the deep-rooted issues of gender inequality in gaming. Now, the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws comments shed light on a crucial issue in the gaming industry, what they call as the underrepresentation of women. Now, she's right to point out that video games have historically been, more along the lines for male characters and male perspectives, and the industry's creative teams as well as the fan base have often skewed, having male, leading to as many will see gender imbalance. By focusing on a female protagonist, Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment aim to challenge this norm as emphasized by the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws. But let's dig deeper. What does this actually mean for the industry as well as its audience? Well, to understand the broader implications, we must consider the historical context of gender representation in gaming. Now, for decades, video games dominated by, different male heroes with female characters, as having secondary roles, but we've also seen a lot of female heroes like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. And this trend has shaped player expectations and industry standards. But the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws is part of a growing movement that seeks to overturn these norms and promote, as she would call, more inclusive storytelling. Yet, despite these efforts, the question remains, how effective is this approach in truly shifting industry perceptions and player behaviors when it doesn't really have anything to do with the people playing the games? But a close look at the performance of Star Wars Outlaws and what it means about the current state of gaming industry, we're going to take a look at that. Now, the game of Star Wars Outlaws had relatively mediocre debut, leading to a 25th out of 40 games on the PS5, PS4 charts. And this placement is below many major and even mid-living service games, just raising important questions about the effectiveness of the representation strategy championed by the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws. Now, could it be that while the focus on a female protagonist is progressive, is not enough to drive the commercial success needed to make the lasting impact? But historically, games that offer players a choice to be a man and a woman protagonists have shown mixed results. For instance, in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, a significant majority of players chose the male character Alexios over Cassandra. Creative director Scott Phillips noted that more than 2/3 of players preferred Alexios. You see, the data suggests that a potential disconnect between the industry's diversity goals and the actual preferences of gamers. You see, the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws might argue that this reflects a broader issue, but it's also crucial to explore whether the industry is aligning its goals with what players truly want. Players just want to play the game. That's simple. And this trend invites a critical discussion about whether the push for diversity might overshadow other important aspects of game development. Now, is the emphasis on having a female lead character, while admirable, addressing the core interests and desires of the gaming community? The reality is that players are drawn to engaging stories, compelling gameplay, and immersive experiences. You see, while representation is valuable, It must be integrated thoughtfully rather than being the sole focus. And the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws perspective is, important here, but we must also consider how these elements interact with player engagement and satisfaction. And that will not be a positive engagement satisfaction. Now, while the industry aims to reflect the diverse experiences and perspectives, the commercial performance of games like Star Wars Outlaws suggests that players might prioritize different elements. A game's success often hinges on factors like gameplay mechanics, story quality, and overall engagement, not just the gender of its protagonist. But the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws experience highlights the need for balance between representation and quality, or just focus solely on quality itself. But exactly how can developers trying to achieve representation and quality in a game? But from a conservative viewpoint, it's also worth considering the impact of this focus on gender representation on other aspects of game development and industry practice. You see, are we actually witnessing a trend where diversity becomes a token gesture rather than meaningful change? Now, it's also crucial to balance the push for representation with the need for high quality, engaging content that resonates with the broader audience. In other words, if you want to be diversity, make it natural. Now, the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws advocacy for diversity is it seems commendable, but at the same time, it detracts from the overall gaming experience, okay? But the fact of the matter is, we got to also consider the personal stories shared by the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws and her team, where the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws' journey as an immigrant Latina from Canada and her passion for representation, some people that might sound significant. And she also talked about the lack of mentors and role models in her own life, which makes her role in Star Wars especially meaningful. But the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaw, her hope is that young girls from individuals from underrepresented backgrounds will see themselves reflected in the game and feel inspired. And this personal connection adds depth to her advocacy, but it's also must be weighed against the game's commercial performance and broader industry trends. In other words, if she wants that to happen, the game has to be good. And if the game is not good, then that's not going to be a good look. And it also, her vision for that will not come to fruition. But while these personal narratives are powerful or seem powerful, they must be viewed alongside the game's commercial and critical reception. The mixed results of Star Wars Outlaws were the mostly negative results of Star Wars Outlaws, and historical data from the other Ubisoft titles suggest that while the representation is important, it may not be a magic bullet for success. The industry must continue to balance its goals of, if they want inclusivity with the broader demands of players, they got to also make sure to have an involving landscape of gaming, making sure that it's entertaining. And the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws represents a vital voice in this discussion, but it's crucial to address the success and the shortcomings of such representation strategies. In this case, that strategy is failing. Now, the focus on gender representation in games like Star Wars Outlaws is a step, in a certain direction, but it's not a positive one. It's not a right direction, but it's also without its challenges. You see, the game's performance indicates that while representation matters, it must be integrated with strong gameplay, compelling narratives, and an understanding of player preferences. Now, as the industry moves forward, finding this balance will be key to creating games that both resonate with diverse audiences and achieve commercial success. Now, the voice actress of Star Wars Outlaws' role in this discussion also highlights the ongoing evolution of the gaming industry as well as the trouble that it's facing. And a lot more people are going to keep calling for a nuanced representation, okay? Now, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Do you actually think that representation is crucial in video games, or do you think that it's unnecessary? Do you think about the role of representation in gaming? Is it achieving the goals, or is it making more work? It doesn't mean there needs to be more work done. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have on this particular topic. If you enjoyed what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share far wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, and you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification so that way you're notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.